I have a video here from EducatedCollins that I wanted to see, a really short video, 9 minutes, that is called The Problem with Series 3.5 Cards. So I don't know what he means with Series 3.5 cards. So that caught my attention, brother. And I said, brother, I want to know what he's saying here. So I want to watch the video to know what the fuck is Series 3.5 cards. So let's watch this video, brother. Let's watch this video.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the EducatedCollins Snap channel. How you doing? So today I want to talk about Series 3.5 cards. Now you're going to ask me, what are Series 3.5 cards? Well, I think these cards are cards that most players will tell you to get after you complete Series 3, but they have the token cost of a Series 5 card, right? So I like 3.5. You're not going to get them at Series 3. You're probably going to get them after Series 3, but usually they're very expensive, and they're just encouraged because they stay Series 5 cost the whole time. They're alternately called big bads, but I think...
Oh, so he's referring to Thanos, Galactus, and Kang the Conqueror.
That's just like a sneaky game designer way of making them just expensive cards. They're just cards you will get right after Series 3, Series 3.5. I think that makes way more sense than this random big bad title that they are trying to give in. So here, we do have the examples of the 3 Series 3.5 cards that we have. We've got Thanos, Galactus, Kang. I had extra space, so I put 2 of them. But, you know, essentially, these cards, right, after you complete Series 3, people are going to, okay, you know, what should I get?
He calls it 3.5 because he feels that people don't go into, when they finish Series 3, people don't go into Series 4, but they choose to go into the big bats, that is a special area or group of Series 5 cards that people go to after being Series 3. So that's why he calls it Series 3.5. But it is better to just call them big bats, right? The problem with big bats in Marvel Snap, wouldn't that be easier to understand? But I understand what he's saying with Series 3.5.
Get now. Most people just tell you to get the big bads, get the Series 3.5 cards. So because their price never drops, it just logically makes sense to focus on these with your resources and acquiring these cards before you focus on getting other expensive cards. So anytime you have resources, you get these tokens, it's hard to argue to get other cards because these cards never drop in price. They're always going to be 6,000 for the...
Exactly. You think when you buy, and this is a problem of the token shop since the beginning. When you buy a card in the token shop, you always feel like you are getting finessed, right? Because whatever you buy is always gonna drop in price. So if you buy something with 6K tokens, a card with 6K tokens, and that card is gonna get downgraded eventually to Series 4, you feel that you got finessed by 3K tokens. But then that card that is at 3K tokens in Series 4 is also going to get downgraded to Series 3. So you are getting finessed by 3K tokens more, because that card, when it hits Series 3, is going to just be completely free. Well, free if you get it in the free shop, or you unlock it in a box, and in a box it is not free because you can pay money to climb the collection track, but you know what I mean. So you always feel like you are getting finesse when you buy something in the token shop. So you are like paying for early access. But with the big bats, you don't feel like that, because they are always going to cost 6K tokens. So you feel, well, I am not wasting these tokens because this is the only way to get them. Or I pay the 6K tokens, or I don't have them. So you don't feel like you are getting finesse. But let me tell you, you are getting finesse because 6K tokens is, and the whole system is bullshit, you know. But this is a psychological trick they are playing on us with this big bad bullshit.
The foreseeable future, they have said that maybe it'll change, but I don't think it's going to change anytime soon. I think their game plan is to just have this locked into 6,000 unless something changes with their marketing or anything like that. I don't see it really changing. So just for y'all information, Series 3 incomplete players gain around 4,000 tokens a month, while Series 3 complete players gain around 5,000. Now, that's without bundles. If you are using your gold to get tokens, to get bundles, you can definitely gain way more than 4,000 tokens. You can easily gain enough to gain 1 Series 5 card per month, right? But since we have 3 Series 5 cards, most players...
Which is stupid, brother. You are saying to me that you are releasing 3 to 4 cards a month, and people only have access to 1 of them. That is fucking stupid, brother. We should have access to at least half, and in the ideal scenario, something like 2/3, you know, and then the other 1/3 is for people that are willing to pay more money, something like that.
It's going to take around 3 or so months to get these Series 5 cards. Now, the important thing to note is it's really hard to recommend other cards. Anytime someone's asking me to what card should they go for, they'll basically be like, I've completed Series 3. What card should I go for? And pretty much the only cards I can really recommend are, Thanos, Galactus, Kang. Like anything else, right now, Shuri's in a weird spot where you could argue that you could go for that one. But other than that, the card has to be literally the most broken card in the game for me to be like, oh yeah, that one also makes sense.
And that is why in my buyer's guide, I told people, don't buy Shuri, brother. Don't buy Shuri. Why? Shuri is the best card in the game right now, but in a couple of weeks, she's going to be downgraded to Series 3. So why would you pay 3K tokens for something you are going to get for free in 2 weeks or less, or something like that? I don't know, in 2-3 weeks, whatever. You shouldn't, unless you really, really want to climb the ladder right now, because Shuri is the most broken card. But you know that she's going to probably get nerfed at one point, plus she's going to get downgraded really soon. So in my opinion, it is a waste of tokens. But she's the most broken card, so you have to counterbalance there and take your decision.
But other than that, you're just really recommending those 3 cards to get first, because it's not going to drop in price, where things like Shuri, even Shuri is going to be moving down to Series 3 next month.
Oh yes, como everything about this, brother. I was thinking about doing another video complaining, brother, because I have to tell you, I kind of burned out of Marvel Snap because everything is bullshit with the economic shit, and I was tolerating everything because of the gameplay. But now I am also bored about the gameplay. The game has 3 months being the same meta game. New cards are irrelevant. I am bored. This is the truth. I am bored of Marvel Snap, brother.
Where you're not going to have that with any.
Yo, for slow, my dude, how you doing, brother? I hope everything is cool, my dude. How you doing, brother?
Any of the other big bads, any of the other Series 3.5 cards. So it's just hard to encourage you to spend on anything that's not those particular cards. So I want to talk about, why did the token shop change happen, right? They had they mentioned why they made the token shop more accessible to get Series 4, Series 5 cards. They cited that players were not excited about seeing new cards in the shop. 3 to 4 Series 5 cards get added into the game every month, but you almost never see those cards, and there's no one talking about them. There's not a lot of excitement about them. Some players or some viewers even get mad that you use those cards because they don't have access to it. So they saw that, they recognized that was a problem, and they wanted to do something about it, so they made this token shop change happen. Now, that is good. I do think the token shop overall, especially for people that have a lot of the important Series 3 cards, was good. I'm going to argue, like, if you're a new player, it's not good, but if you are not a new player, it's good. However,
so yes, we have talked about this change a lot when we went over the news when this was announced, but this is a good moment to talk really quickly about this again. I have had this opinion for a long time, and they are implementing the token shop and all the changes to the token shop and all this bullshit because they are trying to put patches or how do you say this thing? Cover gaps on the problems that the system has from the beginning. So they always are trying to balance something that is unbalanced from the ground up, So what you have to do, second dinner, with this shit is completely rework the collection system of the game, because you had to implement something like the token shop because the collection system from the beginning is stupid, and now you give us a token shop that could be a fix, but you don't want to make our lives so easy, so the token shop is also bullshit. Everything is expensive. You have the 8 hours form of bullshit, so you make us check the shop every 8 hours, so we see the other offers you have in there, and you only give us 1 fucking card. Everything in the economics of the game is stupid, brother. So again, what problems does this create? People don't interact with the new cards. The other problem is releasing every new card into Series 5. Nobody cares about new cards. Nobody interacts with them. Majority of new cards, even if we could have them, are stupid and irrelevant, so you only care about 1 of 8 new cards or something like that. I don't know, the collection system in the game is stupid, and I don't think they can sustain this for long, brother. I would prefer them to not release 1 new card a week, but release them in batches like 10 or 15 every 2 months, you know. Like the biggest patch we ever had in Marvel Snap's history was the patch when they released a token shop, but because in that patch they released 15 or 20 cards at once. That was the patch when Thanos and Galactus were released, and that is the best fucking patch this game has ever had, brother. It was fucking cool, my dude. But now they are this one card a week bullshit. I don't know. They think it's cool. It is not cool. Nobody cares about the card, and even more because the card is really expensive. Nobody has the tokens. I could go on and on about this topic for hours because I think about this shit a lot because I hate that part of the game. It is fucking stupid, brother. The whole collection system in the game is stupid, and people get bored out quickly once they are Series 3 complete because we don't get shit, brother. We don't get shit, and even when we do, it is not enough to keep us on the game, brother. You have to release more cards that are accessible. You can space them out. So you say me, yes, if they release 10 or 20 cards every 2 months, what do you do in those 2 months? Well, you had an influx of 10, 20 cards, so you have a new meta game, and 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month after that, you can have a balanced patch that shakes up the meta, a good balanced patch with good nerfs and good buffs, and then you have a new meta for another month, and then they introduce cards again, and then you have a new meta again. So this could be a really good cadence for the game, but they don't want to do that because they have their gacha economic bullshit, and this doesn't merges good with that to exploit the player out of their money. I don't know, but they could do something like that and make it profitable, but I don't know. They are stubborn about this shit, brother. But I don't know if this video is about that. I am just ranting and complaining about this shit because I hate it. But yes, the token shop is stupid, and now players that are and what he's saying in here is that for new players, you have to remember that before, or well, it still happens, when you are a new player and you get to level 500 on the collection track, they give you 3k tokens. The best strategy for a new player was getting 3 Series 3 cards on the token shop to accelerate your collection really fast and getting 3 cool Series 3 cards, you know, like Sarah, Mystique, whatever. But now you can do that because now they are forcing you to spend the tokens on Series 4 and Series 5 cards and only get 1 Series 3 card a month on the free shop. That is the only disadvantage that I see really about this system. So it is so stupid that they have a system like Series 4 and Series 5 where people don't want to interact with the system because it is stupid that people prefer to buy Series 3 cards. That their solution, instead of being more accessible to Series 4 and 5 cards, their solution was you can buy Series 3 cards, so you are now forced to buy Series 4 and 5. My dude, how out of touch can you be, motherfucker? So yes, they removed the ability to buy Series 3 cards, so now new players can't do that. But if you are advanced on the collection track, getting a free card a month is cool, and on top of that, you now save the 1k tokens for a Series 4 and Series 5. That part is true. And of course, if you are Series 3 complete, you are completely screwed. The game is bullshit. You don't aspire for shit because you aren't getting nothing. It is completely stupid, brother. Since I completed Series 3, yes, I had more options because I can build virtually any deck that doesn't include Series 5 or 4 that I don't have. But I don't have that rush of getting new things because I don't get new things, brother. The game is stupid.
However, the problem is that there's still going to be new Series 3.5 cards added. So there's talks of a new card being added to the big bad pool.
And this is another thing. They are going to release High Evolutionary. Cool card. I am excited for this card. I want to play with this card. The community, people have to be stupid. You don't want cards that are permanently Series 5. You want cards to downgrade in series to be able to get them for cheaper, brother. And the community is so stupid because of this big bad label that they are requesting second dinner for getting high evolutionary into the big bad category. Don't be a stupid motherfucker. Don't ask them to do this, because if you ask them to sell to you thing more expensive, they are going to do it. Idiot. Don't do that, brother.
Cool. So first it was just Thanos and Galactus, then it was Kang, now it's high evolutionary, and I definitely get the feeling that they're going to keep adding more. And that's where my problem lies. I actually don't really have an issue with the big bad idea or the Series 3.5 idea. The issue I have is that they're going to keep adding more Series 3.5 cards. Now, if these cards keep getting added
I do, because Series 5 should be only big bats. You want to have a Series 5 category with cards that are rare. Well, you can have that category. So you get Kang, you get Thanos, and you get Galactus in that category. And when you release a big bad, you get it into Series 5. Let's say High Evolutionary is one of those. So now you have 4 big bads. But every other card should release directly into Series 4, brother. That is the reality. If you are wanting to keep this system, because my opinion is that Series 4 and 5 shouldn't exist. But if you are a store and you want to keep this system, well, release directly into Series 5 the big bats that are going to keep being Series 5, and all the other new cards getting into Series 4. That would be better for the player, brother. And again, I don't like this cadence of 1 card a week. I believe it is stupid and it doesn't impact the game at all.
Every other month or every month, it's just going to limit the amount of options that players can use to spend their tokens, because you're only able to get 1 Series 5 card per month without spending a ton of money. Essentially, it's really hard to have to say, oh, I'm not going to spend on the new big bad, I'm not going to spend on the Series 3.5 card. You pretty much have to do that. So the solution they were trying to solve, that people weren't excited about the new cards, you're not
exactly, and this creates the opposite effect. So if you want, maybe they want to create artificial scarcity by saying these big bad cards are more expensive, so since people don't have enough tokens to buy them, or have to farm more tokens to have them, or save more tokens to have them, maybe we will see less of them on the ladder because not enough people have them. But that is not what happens. What happens is, since people know that these are the cards that are worth it to buy with your tokens, that is the cards that people target and end up being the more common cards out of the Series 5 and Series 4. So it creates the opposite effect, brother.
Not solving that, because your resources are just being spent on these new big bads that you have to get, because it just doesn't make sense to go for anything else from a game progression standpoint. So I don't really have an issue with the Series 3.
And that creates a problem that people still don't interact with Series 5 and 4 because they are targeting big bats. So the other bullshit, tell me, who spends tokens on fucking Shadow King? Nobody. On Dazzler, on Sentry, on stuff like that. Nobody cares, brother. Nobody's going to buy that shit for those tokens. So this card doesn't exist until it is dropped into Series 3 and people maybe experiment with them, because even then the card is stupid and people don't want to use them.
3.5s, I just have an issue with how many they are, and the current trajectory of how many they're going to put in the game, because I don't think High Evolutionary is going to be the last one, and then there's not going to be any more expensive.
I hope High Evolutionary isn't a big bad. I believe that this is stupid.
Of cards that you have to get. I think they're just going to keep adding a growing list of permanently Series 5 cards in the game. So I just hope that you just limit the amount of big bads added to the game. I don't really care that you have them, but if every time a month comes and there's a new big bad to purchase, and most players can only get 1 card, they're just going to go for the big bads. So you're just going to have a case where
so you are not creating a scenario where people interact with the new cards. It is still bullshit.
Every other card is just not going to be very interesting unless the card is broken. If the card is broken, then players will find out and then they'll start spending their resources on it. But other than that, you're just always going to be looking at the big bad first before you look at anything else. And it just sucks, because you're still going to have the same problem where most players, if they're asking me anytime,
yo, Atomic, my dude, how you doing? That is a good idea, but I have a better one. Don't release cards into Series 5 unless they are big bats. How about it? In fact, I would say don't release any card into Series 5. But if they want to keep this big bad shit, well, only if they are big bats. Yes, again, that is what I think, Como. They shouldn't release this one card a week shed and only Series 5. They should do it in batches. And let's say you introduce a batch of 20 cards. Well, introduce 5 of those into Series 5 and the rest into Series 4. That would be better for the player, brother. Something like that.
You know, I'm making a tier list, which is why I'm making this video. I'm just looking at this tier list and I'm just like, yeah, okay, get the big bads. And then after you do that, then you can start thinking, because the big badge of autopilot, that's gonna take 3-4 months, and then anytime there's one being announced in the future, people just start saving up, right? So even the month before they come out, you can just be thinking, okay, and you save.
Brother, this High Evolutionary is what, for May, and we are in April. It is like the last card of May or something like that, and people are already saving tokens now for that card. And they don't care about the ones that are going to be released this month. Because what cards do you have this month? Snowguard, nobody gives a fuck. Jeff the Shark, some people give a fuck because it is Jeff the Shark, not because the card is good. And the other one is Stegron, the one that moves 1. I believe that card can be good, by the way, but nobody gives a fuck about that. So this is a month where nobody gives a fuck about new cards, nobody will interact with them, nobody cares. People are saving their tokens for next month because it is going to be released High Evolutionary. Tell me that this isn't a bullshit system, brother. This is the stupidest thing that I have ever seen in any card game that I have ever played. So stupid, brother. I don't believe that these people can go with this, brother, because maybe they think that this makes them a lot of money, and maybe it does, but they have said that they are thinking about a game that lasts for 10+ years, and this system just seems like they are milking people right now, but the game is going to die if you continue down this path, brother. People are already losing the hype, and they will continue growing bored of the game because they are not getting cards, because the meta is stale, and the game is going to slowly die down. You have to change this shit. You reckon that will even be good? I don't know if it will be good. What I think is it is going to be fun. And brother, at this point, I just care about having fun, you know. Have you not seen how much money Snap has made already? Yes, they have made a lot of fucking money. And that is why I say this, because, brother, if you are already making a bunch of money, you are selling variants, you are selling bundles, you are selling the season pass, you are already making bank. You don't need this bullshit in Series 5. You don't need it. You are going to keep making money, brother. Why everything has to be predatory? Be predatory with the bundles. Be predatory with the variants. Because let's be honest, paying 700 gold, which is $10 for a variant for one card that you might not use in every deck, is a lot of fucking money. You don't have to pay that much money for a variant, so you are getting finessed in there. But yes, let's say that that is okay. I am also paying $10 a month, so that is like paying for Netflix for the season pass, and on top of that you have to fuck me in the ass with the Series 5 bullshit. Brother, everything has to be this shit. No, dude, no. Change the card acquisition, brother. Not everything. You are already making bank with the other shit. And brother, I know that this shit is going to result badly for them if they don't adjust it, brother. The game is going to slowly die down if they don't change the collection system, because as more people enter Series 3 completion and they grow bored because they realize that they don't get shit, people are going to start not playing the game.
Gave up for this, that's going to come down the line so I can get it quickly. So it's just hard to really recommend players, especially now, to pick up anything other than these Series 3.5 cards until they've gotten all of them. And then once they got all of them, then you can start making these decisions. And if the amount they come out just equals the amount of resources that people have, then it's just hard to really have an interesting list of like, oh, this card's coming out, you can get it. But usually I'm thinking, okay, oh, maybe Howard the Duck or Iron Lad is pretty interesting, but oh wait, you should probably save for High Evolutionary, you know that.
Exactly, I thought about that because I thought, well, Iron Lad seems cool, but if you wanna play Iron Lad, you have to buy Howard the Duck. By the way, if you don't know, Iron Lad, what it does is that it triggers the ability of the top card of your deck. Well, you don't know what card that is, so it is really hard to play. But Howard the Duck tells you what is the top card of your deck. So these two cards are obviously meant to be played together. You play Howard the Dog, you know what card is on top of your deck, so you know what will happen if you play Iron Lad. But to be able to pull that combo off, you need 12k tokens. Are you going to buy those two cards to get 12k tokens, or are you just going to spend 6k tokens on the High Evolutionary? The answer is obvious. You are going to buy High Evolutionary for 6k, brother.
That's really the problem here. So hopefully they do something about that. I wanted to make a quick video just kind of addressing that. Take care of yourselves. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in the next one.
So yes, Educated Collins. Again, good video by you. Short, quick, to the point video. Which I agree, by the way, and it prompted me to talk about the games economy, that you guys know that is a topic that I talk a lot about because it worries me. It worries me, brother. I have created over 150 videos about this game, brother. I have committed a lot of time for this shit. Studying the game, watching the news, playing the game, creating content, streaming the game. I don't want this shit to go to the shitter. I don't want to shift my channel to another fucking game. I want to keep going, brother, but the game is stupid, and I am losing hope, brother. I am losing hope, and I am fucking bored out. I am bored. I don't want to even play this shit because, again, even the meta is stupid. Because, yes, the economic system, it has always been stupid, but at least the gameplay was fun. But right now the meta is not fun, and it has been not fun for 3 fucking months. Well, the leader was worse. But you know what I mean. So yes, again, EducatedCollins, thank you for this video, my dude.